This episode is brought to you by Accenture. When your advertising operations fall out of sync, everything else follows. Spotify and Accenture are working together to reinvent the rhythm of ad sales, using automation, analytics, and smarter workflows to simplify campaign delivery and access better data across the business. The result? Less time spent on operations, more time connecting brands with the moments and fandoms that matter most. Learn more at accenture.com/Spotify.
The new LinkedIn Hiring Pro can't undo your last hire. The human postponer. They were the master of one phrase. I'll circle back on that. But 3 months later, you are the one doing all their work and wondering how big that circle is. But LinkedIn Hiring Pro can take the hiring load off your plate by automating the hiring busy work from the initial job post to scheduling interviews. Hire right the first time with LinkedIn Hiring Pro. Post a free job today at linkedin.com/quality.
This podcast is part of the Robots Radio Rocket Club, a program designed to help all podcasts reach their full potential. For information about joining the Robots Radio Rocket Club, check out robotsradio.net.
Welcome to Holocron History, Star Wars Canon versus Legend. Join us as we take a deep dive into the lore of the Star Wars universe.
Hello, and welcome to the Holocron Histories podcast, where we talk about Star Wars canon versus legends. I am one of your hosts, Austin, also known as Teacup.
And I am your other host, Ben of Temeria.
And we are here to talk about Star Wars. The one, the only. So, I have a story time, because I have to admit this. I work with teenagers for my real job.
Ew.
And one of them have found this podcast.
Oh boy.
And they are huge, like they're big and like watching all the Star Wars stuff. Well, it recently come out that I have not seen past season 1 of Bad Batch. And I got a lot of shame about that. Kept saying, you have a Star Wars podcast. How haven't you seen Bad Batch? And I was like, I don't deal in the new stuff. It's fine.
I mean, to be fair, I've only watched like halfway through season 1 of Bad Batch. Season 3 literally drops here in the next couple days. I'll finish watching it when all of season 3's out. I'll just binge the entire thing. But, I don't know. Bad Batch, like, it doesn't resonate as like Ahsoka did, or Obi-Wan Kenobi, like the Obi-Wan show. I don't think it just doesn't resonate with us.
See, they're about to get me because I'm pretty sure they're going to show Kanan and Hera beating.
Say what?
They're going to show Kanan and Hera meeting.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
See, this is, and like, my thing about it is like, and no, if you love the show, I'm very happy that you love the show, and I'm glad you enjoy that Star Wars content, but I cannot stand Omega. But I'll get around to it. I just thought it was funny that I got shamed by a 18-year-old who will probably listen to this podcast and be mad that I called them out.
Well, oh well, I guess. I don't know how to respond to that.
It's fine. It's fine. I just thought it was funny.
Oh God. Oh jeez. But yes, we are here to talk about Star Wars, and we actually had this request from one of our comments on Spotify, doing another character deep dive, specifically over Darth Malgus. And if you don't know who Darth Malgus is, that's okay. We'll get into that in this episode.
The tragedy of Darth Malgus the Stupid.
Yeah.
Not really. He's not actually stupid. But...
No, he's not. I mean, he does make some dumb decisions, but it's a time of turmoil in the galaxy because there's
when
constant.
Is it not?
Good point. That's a fair point. Never mind. But let's get right to it. So, Darth Malgus. So we start with his early life. So Veradun was a force-sensitive human male born in the year 3700 BBY on the planet Drummond-Kos, the capital of the what is this word? Reconstructed Sith Empire. Let's go with that word. It's a different word.
Reconstituted?
Reconstituted. Words are hard for me, and I'm trying to do voiceover work. That's what I'm learning to do right now.
Yeah, reconstituted.
I need to learn how to read better. Veradun was raised by an adoptive father, a biologist in the Imperial Science Bureau, and the man maintained a private zoo on a planet other than Drummond-Kos. With funding within the Empire, he collected and studied many different animals. As a child, Veradun tended to the creatures in the menagerie. That's a word. Feeding the animals and cleaning their cages. The young boy also participated in lessons on the Force with a number of instructors, all whom had recognized with great potential in the Force. Sometime in his youth, a female Twi'lek servant on the estate of Veradun's father committed a minor offense. Although the offense itself was meaningless to Veradun, he killed the woman to prove himself he was capable of doing so. His father was pleased by his son's actions and told the Sith Academy on the Imperial capital world that Drummond-Kos of his achievement. Veradun was to leave the estate and train at the academy to become a Sith warrior. Now, for everybody listening, if you don't know what a Sith warrior is, it is actually one of the classes in the Star Wars The Old Republic MMO. That is where Darth Malgus is from. He's from SWTOR from the MMO, but a very prominent character through the game. And specifically, if you watch any of the advertisement for the game, he's like the number one guy they used, next to Bastila Shan.
Mm-hmm.
Or not Bastila Shan. Satele Shan. Her granddaughter. Duh. The day before Veradun's departure, his adoptive father took him on a tour of the zoo to teach him 3 lessons on personal conduct, deception, and expectations. The lessons, which his father crafted through the use of the animals and their behavior, had a profound impact on Veradun and shaped his philosophies in later in life. The next day, Veradun was taken to Drummond-Kos, and he eventually became selected by the apprentice of the pure-blood Sith Master, Darth Vendician. Yeah, let's just say, if you don't know what a pure-blood Sith is, they are an all-red-skinned species that the Sith based themselves off of originally. Like, they were the Sith, and then the Sith, like, culture, or, like, dark side users took the term Sith from them. So, on a trip to the Outer Rim world of Geonosis, Veradun discovered a young Twi'lek slave girl by the name of Elelina Daru. Upon seeing the Daru was abused and physically beaten by her owner, Veradun killed her master, and took the Twi'lek as his own. Although she remained his slave, the two became lovers and eventually came to treat her as a wife, despite the Empire's anti-alien and anti-interspecies marriage policies. So yeah, the Empire literally hates. They are full. It's an all-human / pure-blood Sith society, and they're completely, purely anti-alien everything.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. And it was thus that after being accepted as a Sith apprentice, Veradun found a new name for himself, Malgus. So, that's how he gets the name Malgus, after he gets becomes the apprentice of Darth Vendician. And, yeah, this slave, Twi'lek, you will see in some of the promo videos for SWTOR when it was first being launched, as well as Malgus. And Vendician, you also do see him as well. And, yeah, fun fact here, too. If you create a character in SWTOR and you go do the Sith Warrior storyline, your first companion is a Twi'lek slave, just like Malgus. And just like Malgus, she's a romanceable option if you're male. So, there's that too.
Weird. Well,
it is and it isn't, I guess. Though I will say, playing as a Chiss for my Imperial Operator class, the Empire, you will get remarks by the Empire specifically about like you being an alien.
In my Sith, whatever the like counselor equivalent for the Sith
Inquisitor
side is, the Inquisitor, I was a Twi'lek in that, and everyone hates me.
Yeah, I was my Sith Inquisitor is a Zabrak. Going with like a Darth Maul looking thing, but I'm like suit up in armor and it's awesome.
Don't the dark side Zabraks, they are red skinned.
Yeah, so the way they did it in SWTOR is if you play a Zabrak on the Empire side, you are a red skin just like Darth Maul. And if you play Zabrak on the Republic side, you are a tan colored, just like Koth, Master Koth. He's a Zabrak during the Anakin and Obi-Wan's time. Oh god, what's your companion from KOTOR 2?
Barad-dûr.
Barad-dûr, thank you. You're his color. So next we get to the Great Galactic War. So things get a little heavy years down the road. So in 3681 BBY, the Empire returned from hiding and launched serious attacks against the Galactic Republic, sparking the Great Galactic War. Vendition and his student was among those selected in the participate in the Sith assault to reclaim the Sith holy world of Korriban. During the Battle of Korriban, the two took a Fury-class Imperial Inceptor to board the Republic space station above the planet, landing on the hangar, preventing the station's crew from escaping. Aboard the fighter there, the two disembarked to confront two Jedi that were entering the hangar. And this is the events of the first SWTOR trailer that you can go on YouTube. You can watch all the trailers. You go watch all the trailers. It's like well over an hour long thing you can watch. And this is one of the first trailers they did was, so we have Satele Shan and her master at the time, because she's a Padawan, on a space station, and then boom, the Sith Empire appear. They are getting attacked by Sith. You see Jace, who is a Republic shock trooper, who is a complete BA, and just was wiping them all down with a minigun. It's great. And you also do see what's his name? He's a smuggler, and you can actually get him as a companion.
He's like a Han Solo type character.
Yeah. And his ship is very generally based off the Millennium Falcon / Ebon Hawk.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he's in it. He literally takes he dual wields pistols and takes a bunch of the Sith troopers down, and then you see this epic fight scene with Malgus Vendition against Satele Shan and her master. And yeah, it go watch the trailer. It's epic. The fight choreography is amazing. And yeah, you see some pretty sick moves. So Malgus was surprised to find that his master was still alive. So his master does get torn apart, essentially. Like, he gets beaten.
Mm-hmm.
And mocked Vendition with his failure to prevent the survivor's escape before decapitating the pureblood Sith as he watched the Sith Armada descend on Korriban. After the battle, Malgus walked alone on Korriban's surface and experienced a force vision in which the galaxy and the Republic burned. From then on, Malgus believed that he would be responsible for the fall of the Republic and its Jedi Order. So, right then there, you have your classic Sith apprentice becoming the master by striking down the master, and he straight up did that. And by the way, Malgus's lightsaber is awesome because he has like literally like two blades on the side of his going up from the hilt where the blade shoots out, and they're like legitimate blades to where you can cut someone with them.
Yeah, I remember that. And it was like a theme that like Sith of that era had like lightsabers like that.
Yeah. To where they could use them also as melee weapons, not just pointing laser swords.
Well, they're all melee weapons.
Well, they're all melee weapons, but like it's not. You can even if your lightsaber's turned off, you can like use it to stab someone or cut meat because you're surviving or something. I don't know. So in the years following the Battle of Korriban, the Malgus was promoted to the rank of Sith Lord. In around 3667 BY, he was granted the title of Darth. Taking on the full name Darth Malgus, he was selected and personally led Imperial forces in a surprise attack on the peaceful world of Alderaan in the Core Worlds. Timing his attack to coincide with the Imperial feint to draw the Republic fleet far from the core, Malgus landed thousands of assault droids and Imperial troopers, accompanied by hundreds of Sith, on Alderaan's surface after the Empire completed a vicious orbital bombardment. And now this is Alderaan as in, like, Alderaan that Princess Leia is from.
Mm-hmm.
And you do go to Alderaan in SWTOR. Each class goes through it. It's part of the base game. And Alderaan is, I believe... Is it Onderon or Alderaan that has the Civil War? It's
Alderaan.
Alderaan has the Civil
Alderaan.
War. I can't remember Alderaan's story. I don't know why. I just can't. But whatever. Go play SWTOR. It's great. They're just announced a new Galactic season, and they're adding a stronghold for the season's reward, which is which is different. So Malgus himself led the Imperials on a march across the planet, burning forests and destroying cities on a trek towards the capital city. However, members of Havoc Squad, a unit of the Republic Special Forces, launched a guerrilla counterattack on the Sith Lord marched through a valley. Now, Havoc Squad, if you don't know, is actually the squad that your character are part of. If you choose the soldier route for your character in SWTOR, you are part of Havoc Squad. So Commander Jace Malcolm, the same trooper who Malgus encountered 14 years earlier on Korriban, left his troops against the Imperials, prompting Malgus to defend himself against several Republic soldiers. Seeing that Sith Lord butchering the soldiers, Malcolm launched several rockets toward the Sith Lord. And just, this doesn't end well. Malgus was able to protect himself against the explosions, though they scarred his face, and the Sith unleashed a blast of lightning to subdue Malcolm, and the troopers rushed him. At Malgus' command, 3 Siths prepared to execute Malcolm, but the arrival of Teal Shan, now a Jedi Knight, saved the soldier from death. And this is now the events of the second SWTOR trailer that we see. And, Malgus gets real messed up with his face. And, if you see Malgus in game, I was like, well, he's wearing a rebreather. Well, yes, he didn't always wear a rebreather. Because of this, Malgus kind of has a vendetta against Malcolm.
Of course, makes sense.
Oh, thank you, Kodojo. Alderaan was a succession war between 2 families. That's what it was.
Oh, yeah. I think
it's okay.
Vaguely remember that.
Okay, that's why I keep getting confused, because both Alderaan and Alderaan storyline are very similar. They're both having 2 sides, 2 factions fighting for the freaking planet. That's why. Thank you, Kodojo. So, Sith forces were on retreat as reinforcement arrived from the Republic in the system to help the battered Republic defenders. Shan played a vital role in giving hope to the overwhelming Republic forces to the ground. And by the way, during this trailer, you do see Satele literally block a lightsaber with the Force with her bare hands, and it's awesome.
I remember that.
Malgus survived his encounter and was picked up by his personal shuttle. Frustrated and enraged by his defeat, he paid little attention to his wounds. His breathing sounded as a rasp over wood. His skin stung like from burns. His lungs were damaged. Lacerations and contusions made a grim mosaic of his flesh. However, Malgus felt no pain. Yeah, because of adrenaline and the dark side of the Force. The Force.
The Force.
So
the Force. Like the Bears.
The Bears. So as he departed Alderaan, Malgus sensed the presence of a Jedi within a ruined city on the planet, desiring revenge against those who deprived him of victory. Malgus ordered his shuttle to pilot to turn the craft around and hover over the city. Against the protest of the pilot, Malgus leaped from the craft to confront the Jedi within the city's ruined streets. Upon reaching the ground, the Sith called upon the Jedi. A Zabrak Jedi came out from one of the buildings and recognized him, igniting his two sabers in the process to face him, making his familiarity with Jakai lightsaber combat style apparent. Malgus rushed towards the Zabrak Jedi to engage him, but was cut off from the ground when his opponent used the Force to bring down two buildings made of Duracrete and steel. Duracrete being it's their version of concrete.
Mm-hmm.
From either side of the street of the Sith Lord in an attempt to kill him. Malgus was trapped under a mountain of rubble and used the Force to prevent himself from being crushed. Dust made him already troubled breath more difficult. Malgus was lost in thirst of revenge and failed to properly evaluate the strength of his new Jedi opponent. With the effort of will, he contained his anger, controlled it, and made it used as a tool to sharpen his power. Using the Force, he blew tons of rubble away, and it fell with a crash of adjacent buildings. Malgus jumped over and heaped and landed on the street. So this is coming, I believe, from a comic or book. No, I think this is from a comic because there's only one book with Malgus in it.
Mm-hmm.
So the Zabrak Jedi was stunned. Malgus again charged towards his opponent and engaged him in a fierce lightsaber duel. Malgus unleashed a blizzard of lightsaber strikes, which prevented the Zabrak Jedi to perform any counterattack. The Jedi retreated before the offensive, desperately intercepting Malgus's blow. Malgus's lightsaber traced glittering red arcs through the air, and he continued to push forward through the Jedi. His opponent continued to give space. Malgus soon realized that the Zabrak's Jedi was actually baiting him. Malgus augmented the Force sense and felt a faint sign of presence of another Jedi nearby. This Jedi was hiding in the ruins and was using the Force to suppress his signature. Malgus unleashed a barrage of overwhelming strikes on the Zabrak Jedi and performed a Force-augmented spinning side kick and knocked him out of the way. He then Force-gripped the second Jedi, pulled him out of hiding, and crushed his windpipe. So he did a full-on Force choke and then crushed him. Yeah. Malgus is pretty relentless, if you can't tell. And then the murder of the second Jedi enraged the Zabrak Jedi and then charged towards Malgus. However, the Sith Lord unleashed a powerful barrage of Force lightning, which overwhelmed the defenses of his opponent and began to burn his flesh. But the Jedi staggered towards Malgus slowly under the cover, the lightsabers taking one step at a time regardless of his burns. Malgus channeled more power and force the Jedi to his needs, who screamed with pain. Malgus's lightning spiraled around the Jedi, blasting the dark holes in his body, and his lightsabers fell to the ground. The Zabrak Jedi was ruined by his attack, but was still alive. The Sith Lord took a moment to observe the look of failure in the Jedi's eyes, and then impaled him. He remembered his third and final lesson from his foster father, sometimes where there was an empty cage while rejoining his forces in retreat. Yeah. And then, following the Battle of Alderaan, Malgus was nursed back to health by Daru, but jaw wounds he received during the battle forced him to don a respirator mask that covered his nose, mouth, and neck. And that's where you get his signature look, is from this battle. Or after the aftermath of the Battle of Alderaan. So during the later stages of the war, Malgus led a campaign against the Republic in the Outer Rim and kept a record of his experiences into a personal journal. 129 days into his campaign, Malgus's forces attacked the planet Ord Radama. That's the Ord Radama, which I think it's near. I'm assuming it's near Ordmain Tal. If I recall. I believe so. Yeah. And then Malgus and the Sith Lord Darth Malgus supervised the landing of the Sith forces of the world. Malgus and Vanimel led a group of Sith infantry in an assault to a Republic gun emplacement, and that was located at the base top of a cliff. While Vanimel and the group of commandos disabled the guns, Malgus led his remaining troops during the mountain pass, and he used the Force to roll a large boulder along the trail and detonated a number of mines that lay in their way. Once he reached the crest of the mountain, Malgus rejoined Vanimel's team, and he congratulated the commandos after he learned that they had taken out a Republic stronghold. More Sith troopers landed in Ramallah, and a few days later, Malgus gathered together his soldiers and gave them a speech to raise their spirits in preparation for an attack on Livin Mangus, a capital city of Ord Ramada. So, he's a pretty busy Sith Lord, if you can't tell. He does a lot. So, Malgus' force besieged Livin Mangus, attempting to starve the city's inhabitants. A week into their attack, Lord Ardus, a rival of Malgus, who sent to Ord Ramallah by the Emperor's advisory Dark Council to provide Malgus with assistance, Malgus was angered by Adris' presence on the planet when Adris suggested that they send some Mark I and Mark II Sith warrior droids to clear a path of the city. Malgus and Vanimel did nothing to dissuade him, despite doubting the droids' abilities. So under Adreus' orders, the droids attacked the city's southern gate, and Malgus watched the droids were exterminated by the Republic defenders. However, this failure of the droids significantly distracted the Republic forces to allow Vanimel and his commandos to enter the city and blast a hole in the wall. Livin Mangus quickly fell to Malgus' troop, and Adreus subsequently tried to take all the credit for victory, which led Malgus to further despise his rival. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Sith Lords trying to get at each other with every means necessary. Yeah.
Of course.
And then despite their initial success, Malgus' force was not resupplied, and Malgus feared the Sith would lose control of Ord Rodama. While the Ministry of Logistics was responsible for providing Malgus' troop with supplies, Malgus' lacked significant influence over Minister Solus Kamir, the leader of the ministry, to compel her to help him, and instead he sent some requests for resources to War Minister Saris. However, Saris did not respond, and Kamar failed to send Malgus any supplies, and the Republic eventually sent a number of Hammerhead-class cruisers and Tarta-class corvettes to attack Malgus' ship in orbit of Ord Ramada. And you can tell things don't go well from there. So, from the balcony of the palace in Livin Mangus, Malgus observed the Republic ships, engaged in his fleet, and so boarded his personal shuttle and flew off to assume command of the dreadnought Lindworm. However, by the time Malgus arrived on the Lindworm's bridge, the Sith already lost the battle, and they watched the stricken Sith Horror-class dreadnought plummeted into the atmosphere of Ord Ramada and crashed in the crater of Livin Mangus. Through the forest, Malgus felt the deaths of Vermeil and hundreds of thousands of the city's inhabitants, and he screamed out in anger. The power of his scream buckled the bridge's viewport, caused the crew's ears to bleed, and also destroyed a wave of Republic Aru-class tactical strike fighters, and were passing by the vessel. Realizing that Sith had no hope of defeating the Republic ships, Malgus ordered his remaining forces to depart the system and jump to the heart of the Sith space. So his scream alone destroyed strike fighters passing by the ship, bled his own men's ears, and destroyed part of the bridge. Does that not remind anybody of someone screaming in pain before? I'm referring to Anakin, if anybody...
Oh, yeah, I guess that does... Yeah.
But his was, smaller scale, but yeah. Malgus does a lot in quite a bit of time, within 20 years. But at that point, I think it's a good time to take a quick mid-break.
Yeah, let's go to it.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood. So you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
You're good.
Welcome to the middle of the show where we talk about all things regarding the podcast. It's here we thank our patrons. Thank you so much to our patrons for that support. And if you'd like to help us out and do that, you can go to patreon.com/holocronhistories. You can also help us out by leaving ratings and reviews on Apple or Spotify. If you leave us 5 stars and some kind words, we will read it out on a future episode of the show. Do we have a comment to read today?
We don't have a comment, but we do have another review by
All right.
Petham F. Wing Feather. The Zepho and the Rakata, 5 stars. So he states, the Rakata are canon, thanks to Andor Season 1, Episode 3, when Luthen gives Andor the Kyber. So the Zepho and the Rakata are separate. My theory is that Zepho worked for the Rakata and ordered the Zepho to scout out another galaxy to conquer, but couldn't come back somehow. When they did return, the Rakata were gone and didn't know what to do. Haven't played the Jedi game, so I don't know this is possible for. Your thoughts? Also, the line between Legends, Clone Wars, what has never been established. The Clone Wars, the home world of Mon Calamari and Mon Cala, both in previous sources, is called Dak. Also, Asajj Ventress's story was different in older comics than in the Clone Wars show. A question in Ahsoka Legends. If so, aren't there any comics about her? I mean, I have like one also. Who do you think would win in a cooking contest? Ahsoka, Shakti, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Plo Koon, or Yoda? They're trying to make Sarlacc soup from scratch, including, side note, I think the only real Star Wars are the first 6 movies and the Clone Wars. Everything else is fanfic, at least after Return of the Jedi, including Legends. George Lucas strongly dislikes Mara Jade because it contradicts the rule of the Jedi George set up. To paraphrase, George said himself, there is my universe and the alternate universe where Palpatine comes back to life, where Luke gets cloned, and where Luke gets married. Also, I don't know much. Do you think that Cal Kestis is replacing Kyle Katarn? Also, a suggestion that you should have a fake sponsor in the Star Wars universe and have it on the podcast. For example, today this episode is brought to you by Zerka. We will deforest planets, give random faceless dust goblins and crawlers, and steal money if you file a lawsuit, something like that. You said it a while back that you don't have that you had a SWTOR guild or something on the Tashiel Shan server. I play SWTOR with my friend. Oh,
that was a lot.
It was a lot. That was a lot.
Thanks for the review. There was a lot of questions. I don't know about the cooking contest. I'll have to think about it more.
Yeah, I can tell you about that because I don't think any of them know how to cook.
Well, maybe.
Maybe Obi-Wan I can see. Obi-Wan I can see cooking.
They've got to teach some kind of survival skills in Jedi training.
And Ahsoka I can see cooking. And I can't see Anakin cooking.
At least not well.
Right. And Yoda, I feel like Yoda would just eat whatever's on the ground. Because he eventually lives on Dagobah, so... So yeah, there's that. Thank you for your awesome long review. We appreciate it. And you can also find us on Discord servers. the multiple Discord servers that we have. All of the links are in the description below. And you can find us on the other shows that we host. Also, part of those Discord servers. So go check those out. It's a lot of fun. Awesome time. I don't have anything else to add for this mid-break. Do you?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're ready to hop back into it.
Cool. Let's get back to more Malgus.
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Starbucks.
That is fire. Whoa, that's good.
This might be the drink of the summer.
Okay, I like this one too. I'm rocking with it, okay?
Try it for yourself. Starbucks Refreshers Concentrates are coming home. Find them in the coffee aisle and make it yours.
All right, we're back. And now we get to, lo and behold, the sacking of Coruscant. Because that planet doesn't get sacked enough.
Of course not.
So, in 3653 BBY, 20 years after the war's beginning, the Dark Council contracted the Republic Senate, expressing their wish to negotiate to the end of the conflict, while delegations from the Empire, the Senate, and the Jedi Order prepared to meet on Alderaan to form a peace agreement. The Sith made preparations for their strike on Coruscant. The high-ranking Sith Lord Dark Angral was placed in charge of the entire operation, while Darth Malgus was chosen to lead an early attack on the Temple of the Jedi Order. And if you play the Jedi Knight storyline, you do actually encounter Darth Angral. He is part of your Act 1 main antagonists that you come across. So under the impression the Empire would invade Coruscant and proceed to wipe it clean of life via orbital bombardment, Malgus eagerly accepted the responsibility, believing it would be a fruition of his vision of Korriban that foretold the destruction of the Republic. Malgus' attack plan involved him entering the temple, wherein he would distract the Jedi while a force of 50 Sith warriors infiltrated the ancient edifice and destroyed the planetary defense grid mainframe within. Although Malgus requested that to be a preliminary attack sole leader, Angral insisted that Malgus' rival Lord Adris, a political ally of Angral's, act as the second in command overseeing the 50-man infiltration team. Yeah, so you can tell Malgus is not happy with this at all. In the months leading to the attack, Malgus and his team deliberately placed and planned for their mission. The Sith Lord personally viewed computerized models of the assault thousands of times. When the negotiating parties began their peace summit on Alderaan, the Sith's plans were set in motion. Malgus, accompanied by Elena Daru, arrived at Coruscant, proceeded on foot to the Jedi Temple, passing through crowded plazas filled with Coruscanti civilians unaware of the impending attack. The two used the opportunity to discuss their views on the both side of life of the battle and the Force, sharing a passionate kiss on the way. Before reaching the Jedi Temple, Malgus retrieved a confirmation from the Mandalorian bounty hunter, Shea Vizsla, that Coruscant's defense grid was disabled in the preparation of the Sith assault. A squad of temple security guards attempted to stop the advance, and Malgus advised Daru not to interfere before he quickly dispatched the group. Vizsla, observing the sight from a recessed face of the temple, looked as the cue to infiltrate the temple via maintenance hatch as her colleagues strode into the main entrance. And this is where we get the third SWTOR trailer. So this is probably the most famous of the trailers for the launch of the game, because this is where we see 50 plus Sith and Jedi duking it out.
Mm-hmm.
And Malgus literally just walks up to the main entrance with no effort whatsoever.
And he does this because he's taking advantage of the stalemate that exists between the Sith Empire and the Jedi.
Right. So, I mean, oh yeah, they're all going to peace treaties, so no one is expecting, a freaking attack on the temple.
No, of course not.
So the Second of Coruscant had begun, and while the Sith forces, led by Dark Angle, took the control of the Senate building and killed the Republic's Supreme Chancellor Barokin, the Sith Armada had begun their bombardment of the capital on the command of Adreus, who had bypassed Malgus to issue the order. Within the temple, Malgus basked in the destruction, congratulating the surviving Sith before tending to Daru. He had Adreus send for a medical team from the Imperial Medical Transport Steadfast before dismissing him for the insubordination and ordering the bombardment. Malgus watched from the temple's ruined entrance as the Imperial bombers brought destruction to this city planet, taking the opportunity to contact Dark Angle aboard the battlecruiser Darkness to inform him of the battle. And so all this takes place in the third SWTOR trailer that we see. You can go and watch on YouTube, but we also do get a lot of this info from the which one is the Darth Malgus book? I cannot remember the name of the Darth Malgus. Deceived. Thank you. Yeah, Kodojo says in chat, Malgus, it's over when I say it's over. Yeah.
Correct. I feel like Malgus is like the epitome of sometimes the bane of the Star Wars universe. Like when I'm thinking about like Christopher Nolan's Bane, not comic book Bane, but the idea of like walking up and being like, you merely adapted to the darkness. I was born in it.
Right. So, when the medical team arrived, Malgus ordered them to take care of the wounded, Daru included. Despite her initial protests about leaving Malgus' side, the Twi'lek went to the medics to the Steadfast in orbit when the Sith Lord informed her that he would travel to the medical ship once he finished on Coruscant. Adreus approached Malgus and questioned him on the fate of the Jedi's bodies. As Malgus believed they had fought honorably, he decided to make the temple their final resting place, using the remaining explosives to drop a ship in the dropship to destroy the structure. As a remaining Sith, Malgus joined Malgus 20 meters away from the temple. He took in all the building's features before activating the detonator. The ancient symbol of the Jedi Order fell in on itself, spewing debris in every direction. Malgus and the others created a wall of force energy that shielded them from the destruction, allowing them to watch the entire process in safety as they cheered. And you actually do with all the Republic storylines, those 4 classes, you actually do go to the Jedi the Jedi Temple, ruined of the Jedi Temple.
Mm-hmm.
And it is ruined. Sad to say. As the battle across Coruscant continued in rage, Malgus' warriors returned to their orbiting warships. The Sith Lord chose to remain in the ruins of the Jedi Temple so that he could watch the orbital bombardment firsthand. After waiting for several hours and witnessing a gradual reduction in Imperial forces, Malgus contacted the Darkness's captain, Jard, demanding to know why the orbital bombardment has not yet commenced. The captain revealed to Darth Malgus that the Lord Angral had ordered the Empire's forces to shift into occupational procedures as the negotiations on Alderaan were continuing. Enraged, Malgus quickly traveled to the Senate building where Angral had commenced the offices of the Republic's Supreme Chancellor, who was killed during the initial invasion. While en route, Darth Malgus learned that the Sith leaders had chosen to use the occupied Coruscant as political leverage in their negotiations instead of outright destroying the planet. In the Sith Lord's eyes, this directly contradicted both his purpose and the purpose of the Empire, and prevented his vision of destroying the Republic from coming to fruition. Yeah, Malgus was pissed.
Mm-hmm. It's a really good read and like getting into his like thought process, because a lot of the book is told from Malgus's point of view, and like the anger and everything he feels towards the Sith. Like, yes, Malgus is a Sith when he's doing this, but I wouldn't describe him as very pro-Sith Empire in the book.
No, which we will get to later. Yeah. So, upon arrival to the Senate, Malgus was escorted to the Chancellor's office by Captain Rune Neal. He quickly began to question and charge of the plans of an emotional outburst before his superior. Unknown to Malgus, Adreus was beaten to him by Angrel's command post. An inferior lord's presence made him meeting into a major embarrassment for Malgus. The Anger Sith was unpracticed in imperial politics, unlike his two contemporaries, who hoped to use Darth Malgus' love for Elena Daru and disapproval of the Emperor's policies as political leverage against him. As their tense conversation progressed, Adreus revealed that he had refused Daru's treatment aboard the Steadfast and instead redirected her to one of the civilian hospitals on Coruscant's surface. Upon hearing his rival called Daru a mongrel, Malgus drew his lightsaber and crossblades with Adreus' own. Angrel ended the fight and sent Malgus away to find his lover, but kept Adreus in his office to clear a showing of where his favor lay. Darth Malgus was provided with the location of Daru's hospital and traveled there immediately to collect his lover. The facility was overrun by victims of the Sith attack and had become inundated that doctors, nurses, and wounded spilled over into the hospital's roof and streets outside. Malgus' shuttle was set down in the middle of the street where he met an irate mob of Coruscanti. As the civilians jeered and heckled the Sith Lord, one of the individuals in the crowd threw a chunk of Duracrete at Malgus. Although he was able to crush the rock with the Force, Malgus was still enraged by the act and demanded to know who threw it. Yeah, he's don't. If you see a passing Sith Lord, don't throw concrete or Duracrete or anything at them.
Yeah, whoever thought of this was not considering their a long life.
No, not at all. So when no one came forward, the Sith Lord attempted to disperse the crowd, but instead received only pleas for assistance. In response, he emitted a wave of force power that pushed everyone in the vicinity away from his violently, resulting in more injuries and destruction. The path cleared, Malgus entered the hospital and demanded that a nurse directed him to Daru. Upon finding his lover, Malgus removed her from the hospital and carried her back to his transport. While they traveled up to the Valor in orbit, the Sith Lord contemplated Angrel and Adreus' intent to use Daru against him, and found difficulty in reconciling his love for the Twi'lek for his duty as a Sith. He was eventually contacted by Darth Angrel, who ordered him to remain in orbit above the Valor, in order to oversee the blockade fleet. Although Malgus saw the job as minimal, he complied and remained on the bridge of his cruiser, the Adreus and Angrel, to handle matters on the surface. The day after the invasion of Coruscant, the fleet intercepted a Dragonfly-class dropship bound for the planet. The owner, bounty hunter Vrath Zizor, informed Captain Jarrah that it was possession of information that would be valuable to the commander of the blockade. Darth Malgus eventually conceded to meet with the man, who informed the Sith that the smuggler would soon run the Imperial blockade with a Jedi Knight in tow. Although Malgus was skeptical of Zizor's claim, he raised the Valor's alert levels and intensified the scans of incoming Imperial supply superfreighter and convoys. When an anomaly that detected within one of the incoming convoys, Malgus dispatched a flight of Imperial shutters to conduct visual scans of the freighter's hulls. Upon discovering a XS stock light freighter attached to the aft section of the Superfleet Dromo, the shutters moved to destroy the craft, but were prevented doing so when the intruder remained close to the superfreighter. In an attempt to draw the XS light freighter out of the cover, Darth Malgus ordered that the convoy disperse so the Valor could get a clear shot. During the commotion, Malgus was contacted by Darth Angrel, but put off answering the communication until he finished the spice runner. Malgus instead hauled the intruding freighter to order the pilot to power down or be destroyed. When the smuggler Zerid Kor refused, Malgus returned to Angrel's communication. The superior Sith Lord informed him that the Imperial delegation of Alderaan was received information from the Jedi compositories. A Jedi woman by the name of Aaron Lanier had apparently left the negotiations without permission and was in danger of disrupting the immediate peace. The leader of the Jedi delegation, Master Darnala, indicated that the Linear's actions were not to be attributed to either the Order or the Republic, and she was to be treated as an independent, hostile agent. And that is also in the book of Deceived. We actually have Aaron Linear in the book, Malgus and her have a confrontation, and she does show up back in later updates of SWTOR during from the 10th anniversary stuff that they did last year, is that last? Yeah, I think it was last year. They added her into the game because Malgus came back,
right?
And then
I think it's interesting to me that they there's hardly any confrontation we get in SWTOR between Satele Shan and Malgus.
Right, I know. I wanted to see something, but we don't, and it's sad. And then after what I was going over, we do get the events of SWTOR. So if you want the events of SWTOR, go play it. It's free. Yeah, just go play the game. It's awesome. It's great.
And if you can fork over the cash for 1 month subscription, you'll get access to all of the expansions and you'll have them forever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just have to subscribe for 1 month and you get access to all the expansions. Then once you unsubscribe, so there's free, there's preferred, and then you're subscribed. When you go once you cancel a subscription, you go to a preferred player, so you do have more access than what a free member has, but you're still not paying for anything, so it's still the better option to go for.
Right.
And a lot happens. And yeah, even so I don't want to go too much into the SWTOR stuff because there is spoilers for a lot of the current stuff with Malgus, and there's a lot of stuff you do with Malgus in the game anyway, so there's just way too much to go over in this episode. But yeah, Malgus does come back. He was mainly used as a promotional character for the game, including the book, because the book did come out before the game released. And when you go through the game, you actually don't fight him until certain flashpoints, which are essentially dungeons. If anybody plays MMOs, they're the Star Wars dungeons or flashpoints. And then he didn't really come back until you deal with him level 50 flashpoint, then you deal with him again in a level, I think it might be a level 60 or a level 70 flashpoint or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
And then for the 10th anniversary, they brought him back as an actual antagonist. You actually physically deal with Malgus again as a legitimate character. And actually part of the story for once. But yeah, to me, it was super weird that going through the base game of SWTOR, where's Malgus? Where's this dark Lord of the Sith that we see in the promotion trailers? Oh,
right,
he's a background character in the game.
Sorry,
what? So yeah, but we do have a bit of legacy. So thousands of years later, the Dark Lord Sith Darth Bane wrote about Darth Malgus in the Book of the Roll of Two. The Sith Lord Darth Sidious eventually obtained some surviving concepts of Malgus' journals from an antiquities dealer and bound them into his Book of Sith, an anthology of Sith historical writings. Sidious found Malgus' military abilities and strength in the dark side impressive, and his apprentice Darth Vader later studied Malgus' writing and noted a degree of similarity between himself and the ancient Sith Lord. Along with Vitiate, Malgus was seen as being perhaps one of the most powerful Sith Lords in history in terms of his sheer strength, might, and influence. Which is true, because Malgus does get a lot of influence throughout the game of SWTOR. He actually essentially breaks away from the Sith Empire and has his own faction that is on his complete own. So yeah, it's interesting. Because you actually, through the newer stuff in SWTOR, you actually, the Jedi and the Sith, actually, you're part of the Alliance during this time. I can't remember what it's called. It's because of Knights of the Fallen Empire. The Sith and the Republic join forces, and this joint forces deals with Malgus. showing that he's kind of a threat.
Yes.
So, last but not least, we do have behind the scenes. So, Darth Malgus first appeared as an unidentified Sith in the Deceived trailer to the upcoming video game Star Wars: The Old Republic. In a trailer, Malgus was voiced by Jamie Grovel, served as narrated through the character does not have at least one line of dialogue when he kills his Jedi opponent, and which is like he first seen in the Deceived trailer, and his book is called Deceived.
Mm-hmm.
Totally planned. Malgus was first identified in an entry in the Old Republic's website's HoloNet databank, which features Arabesh phrases such as "friend to Mandalore," Yabri, Trandosha, Kali, and "First Contact." Malgus made appearances in the Hope in Return trailers and was featured as the major character in Paul S. Kemp's novel The Old Republic: Deceived, released on March 22nd, 2011. Darth Malgus' armor was later released in-game in the Sith Raider armor, an armor set purchasable through the cartel system, which is you can still purchase to this day. You can buy the original Darth Malgus armor and the new updated version that he gets later on. And then during San Diego Comic-Con 2015, Katina tore a fan event hosted by BioWare, a clip of several concept arts of a cutscene from Star Wars: Old Republic, Knights of the Fallen Empire cinematic trailer Sacrifice were showing Darth Malgus in Carbonite, brought by Thraxan and Arcane before the Emperor of the Eternal Empire, Valkorion. However, besides being mentioned, the character never appeared in this extension, which was released later that year on October 27th. But it was also cut, so it was never made into the game. And I would think Malgus would do much more to, like, not even confront these two brothers, because they were very powerful. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, go watch the Knights of the Fallen Empire trailers on YouTube. Those trailers are awesome too for SWTOR. And you see the twin brothers of from Valkorion, and they're very powerful.
Yes, they are. They are very powerful.
I feel so bad for Thraxan.
Thraxan, yeah.
He was a good one. But Arcane's cool too. Yeah. But yeah, that's what we have on Darth Malgus. Quick thing, SWTOR news, with the new update that is coming out with the new Galactic Seasons and everything, they're adding actual romance missions. And they're going to be adding more romance missions going forward. Right now they're going to have 4, so it's going to be Lana, Arcane, Koth, and that's a 4th one I can't remember.
You can romance Arcane?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can if you want to. But you can. There's 4. They're adding. They have 4 characters when the new update goes live later. I can't remember when it goes live here in the next couple months, I would imagine. But going forward, they actually are going to be adding 1 to 2 more characters with these romance missions going forward, which is super nice. And I was like, sweet, I can actually finally do romance missions with Kira whenever they add her, or when they add her romance missions.
If.
Whoa. They will, because she's great. She's great. My Jedi Knight loves her.
I mean, mine does too. So,
see. But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Star Wars Holocron Histories podcast. We'll see you next time.
And may the Force be with you. Thank you for listening to Holocron Histories, Star Wars Canon vs. Legends. You can find us on the Robots Radio Discord at robotsradio.net, the Ben and Friends Podcasting Discord, and even at the Cups Podcast and More Discord. You can find us on Twitter at SWHoloHistories, and even email us at holocronhistories@gmail.com.
Hi Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month, even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending, 0 tears.
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Queen Carvania stood haloed by the morning sun. An army hung on her every word.
My champions, I have sold my chariot on Carvana. 'Twas a lovely SUV, an inexplicably queenly offer. They're even coming to the castle to collect it. Tonight, we feast! An offer you can feast on. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.